CA of Indiana County.
On WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com, and our interviews presented by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Personal Injury Law Firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And our interviews are also streamed on Facebook, so you can see right now, Indiana County District Attorney Robert Manzi is joining us here in studio. Bob, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Josh.
Was your Halloween a good one?
It was a good Halloween. The kids were out trick-or-treating, having fun, being safe.
That's good.
It's always a good night.
Yeah, that's always a good night, and the fact that they were safe is great. But because we've had a lot of incidents coming through Indiana Borough, White Township, the county as a whole, that have kind of made us, I don't want to say on edge, but I think we could safely say that. I mean, we had the Chevy Chase shooting with just a couple of weeks ago, and this past Sunday, an incident on the IEP campus where a guy tried to have a cop shoot at him, and those are pretty bad. So let's see if we can start, though, get some updates. First off, the Chevy Chase shooting. Is there anything new that you can tell us this morning?
So what we can tell you as of right now is we have been continuing that investigation since it happened. I know it really hasn't been in the news maybe in the last couple weeks. We haven't released any new information, but we continue to execute warrants on a daily basis. I'm not sure of our exact number. I believe we're closing in on 40 or 50 different warrants that we're executing throughout the state. We continue to work with the FBI. We continue to work with state police and resources throughout the state, and hopefully we'll have some information that we're able to release as an update soon. What we are able to say is, this incident was a young lady who rented the facility under the guise of having an alcohol-free birthday party, and clearly lied when she did that, and it was something different. And the vast majority of the young adults that were there, whether they were students or visiting students on campus, they were there to attend the party, have fun, not have any trouble. And unfortunately, a small handful of individuals caused significant trouble in the community. So
yeah, I do remember those initial reports saying that it was supposed to be a birthday party at the community center, and obviously we saw the evidence later on that this was what looked like a ticketed event that they held there that was meant to be high celebratory, high drinking event, it looked like. So I imagine using that technology, though, using the technology from these people that sold the tickets has been a big help to the investigation as well.
There is a great deal of information we're gaining through warrants that we're serving on electronic information, people's cell phones, people's payment sites. There's just a lot of information we're gathering. The difficult part is, quite frankly, we don't have a lot of individuals that are coming forward to share information. So, we are pulling teeth and we are getting information bit by bit. As I said in the very beginning, we asked anybody who was there to come forward because maybe they don't think they have information that's going to be valuable, but the little piece they have to the puzzle is certainly helpful.
Anything can help, even if they don't think it's relevant.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah. Even if they don't think it's relevant, we've had members of the community who lived in the area step forward. They come up with some information, and they have come forward saying, "I don't know if this means anything, but here's what I have," and it has helped us a lot. So we appreciate everybody that's helping with the investigation.
That's good to hear, and of course they can contact the DA's office if they have any information, or the state police, right?
Absolutely. They can contact my office directly, or they can contact the state police.
You mentioned all the warrants that were done. These are, I'm assuming, like investigation warrants, like warrants to get information off cell phones or things like that. These are not arrest warrants as of right now.
As of right now, there is no arrest warrants. They are all search warrants, searching various, whether it be technology, whether it be vehicles, homes, etc.
All right. Let's move on now to what happened this past Sunday at IUP's George P. Miller Stadium parking lot. This was an incident. We're going to update our listeners on this now, in case they're unfamiliar with the story. A person called the police, the 911, saying that there was a burglar, a robber, at George P. Miller Stadium. They described them dressed all in black and having a knife with them. When they got there, they found that it was the caller who had made that call, who was there and confronted the officers, knocking one of them down. A shot was fired by an officer, if I'm not mistaken, but it missed, which is, I think, the important part, the fact that it did not hit anybody. And the person was brought into custody with the help of the state police. This sort of an incident, when it was released by state police that the person went there with the intent to have the cops harm them, that's something that's gut-wrenching. Not to the community at large, I think, as well, but also to kind of think that this person was in such a state that they wanted that to happen to themselves.
Yes, I mean, as you know, we have filed charges against that individual for aggravated assault against the officer. As they charged that officer with a knife, the officer appropriately used force to protect themselves and protect the community. I think it really goes to demonstrate a person who's in a very dark spot, mental health-wise, that they believe this was the best course of action, was to try to commit, what's referred to as suicide by cop. And we're meeting with mental health professionals to see about what we can do. That individual's currently in Indiana County Jail with a requirement to have a mental health evaluation.
Right.
But I really believe that, this is an event that can and does happen across our country, and it demonstrates the importance of adults, and in particularly men. We're a little more reluctant to seek help. That when you have a situation that you're dealing with depression, you're dealing with anxiety, it is more common to go out and seek mental health treatment and seek help from others than I think we recognize. On average, the number, I believe, is about 5,000 men in our own county seek help each year. That's
a pretty big number. That's a very big, relevant number right there. And the fact that there is still that stigma of, if you go to seek help, you're going to be considered a wuss, or you're going to be considered as weak and as frail, and as not the preconceived notion of what being a man is. I think it's actually brave for a man to say, "Hey, I'm weak. I need help." It's very brave of them, I think, to admit that.
I think it's incredibly brave, and it's no different. If I break my arm, I'm going to go have a doctor fix my arm. And there's a great deal of research regarding mental health issues that are chemical issues just in your body that medication can quickly help.
Yeah.
And I think by saying, and by making sure people know that number, saying on average 5,000 men across our county seek help each year, people are surprised by the number. And what I share with people across the county is, if you don't know that, it goes to deal with the fact that it's confidential too. So you don't, it's not, you're not going to be plastered on the news or on Facebook. You're able to get confidential help for whatever you're dealing with.
What's the best way to get help then? Let's make that more accessible to the people. Obviously, there's numbers they can call.
There's a slew of institutions and numbers. You can call my office. We will help get you help. You can call the Open Door. You can call the Community Guidance Center. You can call Family Psychological Associates. You can call the Mental Health Commission. And I can pass forward a lot of this information for your listeners. You can call 911 and say, I need help. I need help. And we will help patch you through. You can talk to trusted members in your own circle. Go talk to your pastors or your priest. Go talk to individuals you know. Most employers through HR have free services you can go seek, and it's confidential.
And there is also that the 988 number, Suicide and Crisis Helpline.
The 988 number that patches you directly through services into our county in which you're able to receive help. And by recognizing I need help, I need a professional to help me, it's not a weakness. It is, like, as you said, it's a strength to identify an issue and to address it. Again, I say it's no different than if I break an arm, I'm not resetting it and taping my arm and moving forward with my day.
No. I've seen people try to do that sometimes. In fact, I I remember when I broke my wrist, I'm like, I got to push through. Okay, assignment's finished. Now I can check into the doc. Yeah. But that's not the right thing to do. I mean, the right thing to do is to get help and get help right away.
Get help right away. It is only going to help you. And there's so many people, once you start talking about this topic, you will find people that come out of the woodwork all over our county that you would never suspect that are going to say, hey, I was in a dark spot one time in my life. I went and got help. It was the best thing I ever did.
What you're able to talk about is manageable.
Absolutely. And once you get that help, once you realize 5,000 men a year go get help, and so many women go get help, it affects everybody. And it is okay to say, hey, I need a little help in my life.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, a lot of discussion can come out of that one little incident that happened just because a guy found himself in such a dark place.
Yep.
Let's change the topic now. Are there any big cases coming up on the docket for you?
Well, we have trials scheduled from now till May. So we have, the price matter that the Attorney General is prosecuting is scheduled for trial coming up. Mm-hmm. We have Matthew Bartleball, the murder from Glenn Campbell back in January of 2020 scheduled. Joshua Brink, the homicide by vehicle while DUI in January. Yeah. So our office is perpetually preparing for these trials coming up. We intend on being ready and moving forward. We want to get to the right outcome that the facts and the evidence support, and we're going to keep working towards doing the right thing for the right reason.
And that's why sometimes these cases go slowly. As a superintendent I know has said many times, you go slow to go fast to make sure that you get everything right. And it's the same with law enforcement.
You want to do it right. You want to make sure your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed. And what I always say is, there's a difference between knowing what happened or having an idea of what happened and being able to have admissible evidence to put into trial to prove that. And we want to make sure we do it right. We do it right the first time because we don't want to have to come back and do it again.
All right. Bob, we're just about out of time. But you know what? Thank you very much. This has been a very enlightening discussion, especially about the status of mental health here in Indiana County. Please come back again. Maybe we can continue to talk about it more.
Absolutely. I always appreciate the time.
Thank you very much. Our Indiana County District Attorney, Robert Manzi, joining us this morning on Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank. Our interviews are presented by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Personal Injury Law Firm, Best of Indiana County Contest. Marcus & Mack Law Firm representing injured people. It is 8:23 on Indiana in the Morning. That means I believe we have just enough time to listen to some money matters that are coming through our awareness right now. So let's get that.
Consumer confidence is down for the third straight month. The Conference Board's Consumer Confidence Index slipped nearly 2 points in October. The board's chief economist said that many Americans are worried about rising prices, particularly for gas and groceries. The survey also noted consumers expressed concerns about the current political situation and the turmoil in the Middle East. In October, more than two-thirds said a recession is somewhat or very likely. The Biden administration wants to do away with junk fees in retirement savings.
Junk fees take real money out of pockets of Americans, and they add up to hundreds of dollars and weighing down family budgets and making it harder to pay the bills.
The administration released a proposed rule that would require any financial advisor or broker who sells retirement investments and advice to only do so in the best interests of their clients. President Biden said the fees can cost retirees billions of dollars annually. While there are already fiduciary rules in place, Biden said there are blind spots in the current rules that can increase costs and fees for consumers and ultimately take a toll on retirement savings.
And that was our Money Matters report for Indiana in the Morning this morning, and we'll have more Money Matters later on. Right now, though, let's check in with the CBS Sports Minute.
This Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Prevagen. Joe Burrow was game ball good against the 49ers. Baltimore running back Gus, 3 TD Edwards, CD, 2 TD Lamb, and TJ only 1 score Hawkinson also garnered Player of the Week nods. Alex Anzalone and Jeffrey Simmons started on defense. The Jets' Thomas Morstead punted 11 times and nailed 4 inside the 20. And, of course, Frank Reich coached his first Carolina victory. Congratulations to all on Boomer Esiason.
Your brain is an amazing thing, but as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, Prevagen has been shown to improve memory. A Pharmacy Times national survey of pharmacists rated Prevagen the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand for the 5th year in a row. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere without a prescription. Help your memory. Try Prevagen today. Prevagen. Healthier brain, better life. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.